For this project, we created a home within a home. I'm Ariel Roberts with Roberts Studio Design, and we are here at our Doubletree project. Let's take a look. So this is the first space in the home as we transition from the much more formal entryway, entry living, entry dining. And so it's made to start to feel much more communal, much more familial. And this space originally had no purpose. It was just kind of a nook and a niche within the home, and without a purpose, it's basically a museum. So we needed to give this room and this space a purpose that made sense for the lifestyle of the family. And the way we did that was creating a game table and built-ins that house everything they could want. They can grab mahjong, they can grab a board game, they can all gather at the end of the day and really interact and have a connection point in a place that is specifically made for that. So this is the second of 3 living rooms in this home, which seems crazy, but they really all have their own identity. And the way that we achieved that is by designating this as more of the TV zone that is more for family. So we incorporated a very long oversized sofa. It has a bench seat. No cracks in the cushions means optimal napping. It means absolutely no one's booty is getting stuck in between cushions, and it really is the primo comfort you could have. We chose soft colors. We really want this to be a nervous system wind down and have multiple options for seating. We have ottomans on casters that they can pull and use, to truly have maximum comfort for legs up. And this is where the fireplace is. It's the only living room in the 3 spaces of the 3 living rooms that has a fireplace. And so it needs to feel cozy. It needs to have designated seating moments and zoning within it that make you want to sit down and read a book or cuddle on the couch together or pour a glass of whiskey at the end of the day. So now we're entering the home within a home. So as we go into the vestibule, as we call it, we do have a separate entrance. So people who are staying in this part of the home do have their own access point, and it's like a miniature entryway point. We have a really, really saturated wallpaper in here so that we have that integrated outdoor-indoor. We have a drop zone, and as we head north, directionally, we included a really beautiful detail of sconces that are star-shaped so that even though it is long and narrow for this home within a home, it's guiding you and welcoming you into that additional space. Follow the North Star. This is the 1 bathroom in the new addition space, and this is really, it has to have 2 purposes. It has to function as a guest bath for this guest suite, but it also is the pool bath. So it needs to feel elevated and it needs to feel sophisticated for guests in a grown-up way, but it also needs to withstand wear and tear and wet feet running in and gaggle of boys, just through coming in and out all throughout summer. And so we had to have materials on the floor that were going to withstand that. We had to have materials in the vanity that were going to withstand that, but there's still moments for beauty and for sophistication, which are this wallpaper on this vanity wall. It's the least likely to get touched by wet hands as they're maneuvering around this space, and it has the highest impact point for guests when they enter this space. So you may not know it just from looking in this room, but it's extremely long and it's very, very narrow. We had to find nightstands that are like the microest, smallest width you could possibly find, while still maintaining a queen-size bed for guests to have a luxury room and a luxury space. And the way that we helped this room feel like it made more sense from a geometry standpoint is that we have this beautiful focal point with this bed wall, but we have extended the thoroughfare throughout so that we have seating with the ottomans. We have these soft goods in the bed. The only hard surfaces we have in the entire room are 3 end tables, one oversized one for additional storage for guests and 2 small ones for, just immediate needs in the middle of the night. Everything else is very soft, which not only absorbs sound, but it really absorbs light, and it really creates more of a soft environment for guests instead of bouncing and refracting light off of all of these different walls that could feel very, very narrow without this specific design of layout. So this is our second dining space and our additional living room, our third and final. We finally made it all the way through the end of the home. This space is primarily for guests, but honestly, the homeowners have started to use this space in their everyday life. They sometimes cook in this kitchen versus their primary kitchen, and it's the feeling that this room has is what we've been told. The round table echoes the game table. It has more of a sense of community. It has connection points available. And by mirroring the rugs and the anchor pieces that we have in these 2 spaces between dining and living, we've created 2 zones that directly speak to one another and really directly welcome you into this space. With a small living room like this, honestly, it is apartment sized. It is very tiny, but it feels very luxurious in the pieces that were chosen. Not so luxurious that you don't feel like you can sink into it. Again, we went with a bench seat, so it feels warm and welcoming. We went with a slip cover on these, so it feels like something that's approachable. And we tied in all of the details throughout the rest of the home with the caning, with the linens, with the color selections, some really beautiful antique pieces and art that the homeowners have collected over the years. And we even tied in with the credenza a different version of the living room number 2 credenza. So there are these small hit points and touch points throughout that make them all speak to each other, but they each have their own distinct feeling that makes you want to experience each of them separately. Our last element of this home was this really beautiful outdoor space. It features the mountains, which is exactly what we want to highlight and what the homeowners fell in love with this home for. But with so many different outdoor spaces, or so much of it, it's so vast, we really knew that we had to zone these spaces, and it had to make sense in a sense of how you would host. So with a specific separate living space, a specific separate fire pit zone, a specific dining zone, and then a specific pool lounge zone, it offers different purposes, and it offers mobility of furniture and movement that can be used depending on how many people are attending an event. If it's just the cozy family of 3, it really offers flexibility based off of how they want to use these beautiful spaces, which is the entire purpose of Arizona in the winter, right? Thank you for letting us share the story of this home and this project with you guys. Every project is truly as unique as the clients. We hope you join us next time. I'm Ariel Roberts with Roberts Studio Design. See you soon.